Welcome, welcome, welcome. We are excited to be with you this evening. I am Dr. Willie Jolley, and this is my beautiful bride. We're newlyweds, but we wrote a book about marriage. How you write a book about marriage? You're newlyweds. We newlyweds. We in June 28th, we celebrated 36 years of marriage. And we dated 4 years before we got married. We were telling somebody that the last week at my wife's birthday party, well, we had to tell the whole story. Anyway, for those who are, okay, they're in West Virginia, great. For those who are maybe joining us after the original airing and are wondering, who are these people everybody's talking about? We get so many people who are saying they watch it. We don't know where, how, but they're watching. We're the authors of the book, Make Love.
Yes.
Make money, make it last. 10 secrets to shape a great marriage. But look, we got a lot to talk about. We want to thank everybody first, I want to thank you all from the bottom of our hearts for all of you who have told your friends to tune in, to listen in, to check it out. So many people. You went to a doctor the other day and she said, I watch y'all at night. I said, what? And then we were somewhere over the weekend. We've been to a lot of events. We went to our friend Amy Griffin's You Need a Trust. We maybe need to talk about
Wills and Trust.
One of the best trust people, estate planner.
But that also speaks to that we're going to have some experts that we work with, that we receive advice for. We're working that through as to how we're going to improve on this for 2022.
Absolutely.
To bring you more information.
So we had a big birthday for her, and her husband had a big, fabulous brunch for her. Then we went to Susan Smallwood had her grandiosity event at a big old mansion in
the wilderness.
It was in Potomac, Maryland. It was in the
wilderness.
Ooh, my goodness! But people were up in there, and they had caviar, and they had all sorts of things. Anyway, I want to greetings to her.
And we had to leave before it got dark because you couldn't figure your way out.
That's true, but many people there said, yes. "I watch you on." And then we have to give a shout out to Angela Stribley. Because we got to shout out Angela Stribley, who is engaged. She's engaged.
She's sexy voice.
The voice. Most of you know her from her voice. She is the voice of.
She's on Sirius XM.
Watercolors. She's the voice of Watercolors. She's the voice of WHUR and numerous stations and voiceovers. She's the queen of voiceovers, and she is engaged. So yes. So welcome everybody.
Congratulations. She's beautiful inside and out, not just her voice.
Yeah, she's beautiful physically, voice, but she's such a sweetheart. So she had a going away party because her fiance is going to be in San Francisco, so she's moving out there with him. So we've had a full last few days. Every day we had an activity and
friendship and fellowship. So
and we out. You know, we took our booster, so everybody know we took our we 3 times vaccinated.
But we also wear our masks.
We wear our mask. That's right.
The whole bit.
That's right. Because this thing is still not over. Don't let it fool you. It's like the devil. I told people, COVID is like the devil. It's gonna trick you, right? So don't be fooling around with it. Okay, let's talk about what we want to talk about. Last week we had a rousing. If you did not catch last week's show, then you want to go back into YouTube or archives and look at it. Because we talked about the 5 major marriage busters. That we were going to get all 5, but we only got to 1 last week because it was such a rousing conversation.
And what are the 5 busters?
Well, we're going to just. I'm not going to give them all. I'm not going to give them all because they got to come back next week. Because next week we're going to talk about sex. All right, we're talking about sex next week. Sex. And
so
the issues.
What was the first buster we talked
communication.
About?
Communication.
And what was the conclusion?
The conclusion and the communication was that most problems in marriage are a result of communication or lack thereof. And people who do things or have systems that are not systems, they have habits maybe they picked up from their parents, stonewalling, or somewhere they picked it up from television. I don't know where they get it, but they stop communicating and they think, I'm just not going to talk. That doesn't solve anything. Doesn't solve anything. thing. So what we want you to do is start communicating. So we made sure that everybody,
Effective communication.
that's right, effective communication. Everybody know that the one chapter we give away to any and everybody on jollymarriage.com or ajollymarriage.com, either one, is the communication chapter, which is the biggest chapter in the book. And so many people went after last week, and bought the book. Bought 2 copies, and so we want to encourage people to do that. So
I acknowledge Walter, who said, "Yes, I definitely need to do my well." So
yes.
we will definitely have
Amy.
See if we can get Amy on.
Yes, she's fantastic. All right, let's talk. So last week we talked about communication and the fact that communication, and not Dee was really profound in telling, is not just what you say, it's also how you receive what the other person is saying. Stephen Covey said, seek first to understand, then to be understood. In his book, 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. Seek first to understand what the other person is saying, and then you seek to be understood. And you really talked about listening and how important that. You're so
That's
cute.
What I'm doing.
You're so cute. I'm looking at her tonight. Isn't she cute? She's
That
cute.
is because he's very good at providing the compliments, especially as we prepare to retire for the evening.
Y'all know what I'm talking about.
It's all warm and cuddly. Okay.
Yeah.
Stay
Okay.
Focused.
Develop your listening skill. Study your spouse. Respect each other's communication style.
Okay. Now, what does that mean?
Well, I'm an extrovert. You're an introvert. I tend to be more outgoing, and you tend
to be more outgoing.
Yeah.
You're all the way live.
Yeah. And you tend to be thoughtful usually about your communication. Usually. Sometimes she shoots from the hip.
No, I'm very reserved.
And then not just what you say,
but
how you say it. That's a big one. And then create a safe place to communicate. We've had that conversation this week with one half of a couple about safe places and to say what you think.
Creating an environment of trust where each person feels comfortable letting their guard down. I don't know why. I should not have even. Why would that be a big deal that you have to feel safe to let your guard down with your spouse? Shouldn't you feel that's the your spouse is you would think suppose this person is just like you? Why would you have to be concerned about saying what you really feel and and having to let your guard down? You should not have a guard up.
All right. So then the next one was never talk over each other. Now that, you know what, folks, that's a big one, because we went to a luncheon one time with a couple who were engaged. Were they married then? They were married. And they were more impressed with they said we were impressed with what you had to say and the tips you gave, but how you didn't talk over each other. And I might touch her or she might touch me, and I'll be talking, she'll touch me. I'll stop. She will say what she had to say. I'll touch her and she'll stop. And we respect each other in terms of not trying to talk over each other or to hold the floor. If she got something to say, she can get in and say what she wants to say. And then you know what? They said they never do that. They holler over each other. They talk over each other. They don't give each other space to say what they're thinking. That's not good. Then be open and honest in your conversations with the 4 F's. Be friendly, be frank, be fair, be focused on a win-win. Be friendly in your conversations. Don't start off bitter. Don't start off being angry, because it creates a defense mechanism. Be friendly, be frank. Tell how it made you feel, not what you did, but how it makes you feel. Then be fair. Listen to what they got to say and why they're thinking the way they're thinking, and then be focused on a win-win.
You know, I think that in instances, most recently this weekend, I think that there's often a lack of respect for each other, and that's why the challenges come in, and not even being able to listen to the other person, which then makes me ask the question, and you say that I just kind of say whatever. I mean, why you marry somebody that you
look what Senior Terrence just said? What? I think this goes to the question: why did you marry the person? You didn't even see that.
I didn't even see that because I didn't have my glasses.
Yeah.
I think he's a smart man.
Yeah, you're on it, Terrence. You're on it, okay? Now, the reason people get married, we got a whole nother chapter about that.
But we don't know.
We don't know. You don't know. No. We say we don't know the reason. The reason is so vast. Some people get married because they had a boom, boom, bam, bam. They had big breasts and a big butt.
You know what? They need to remember when you are about to get into a dispute. Perhaps you need to remember why you ended up with that person.
You know, there was one of the comments, one of the letters. By the way, folks, y'all can send us letters at info@williejolly.com or notes or questions.
Or you can even call.
No, I don't want them call because no. If you got an issue, don't call. We got too much. No. Yeah, but no. I don't want to encourage that because I'm busy.
Encourage you to call.
No, you can send the email because I am working, hustling. I am busy from the moment I get up to the moment I go to bed. I am busy.
Honey,
with
why can't I see the rest of that? Why don't you move that over a little bit so I can see the rest of it?
Yes. All right, that work?
Thank you. Yes.
All right. So, but no, send the email because we got TV, radio, new books. Oh, by the way, today my sponsorship with Walmart started on my daily motivational message, and we love the messaging that we are able to
so where
share.
do they hear the Walmart message?
If you go to winwithwillie.com, sign up for the newsletter, you'll get right away, immediately, you'll get added to the daily 1-minute messages brought to you by Walmart. Okay. And then my XM show is brought to you by Truist, the bank that cares. Okay. I love this. I'm getting really great friends and sponsors who are being involved. So Walmart for the daily motivational message that's coming to you via social media. Started today. And then Truist has been my sponsor for my XM show. Now, let's keep going. Remember, you are not married to a mind reader. You must talk and tell them what's on your mind.
Talk does not mean yell.
That's right. And use sweet talk to get the information to your spouse. My wife sweet talks me all the time. All the time she sweet talk me.
And you know what? I code switch because I don't sweet talk most people.
No, you don't sweet talk everybody, but you sweet talk me. You are sweet to me.
But it works very well. People are much more inclined to lean in and to be conciliatory and to help you out if you're not hollering and screaming and carrying on.
That's right.
So I have to work at that.
Not hollering and screaming and carrying on. You know that's country, carrying on. You know.
I'm from the country.
All right.
I'm from the country.
She's from Hampton, Virginia. That's kind of not real country. Anyway, all right. Now this week, so that was last week. This week we want to talk about sex.
No. Honey.
Oh, I'm sorry. That's next week. That's all I can think about. I just want to talk about the sex. I want to think about the sex. Okay, all right. I'm sorry. I'm thinking about next week already. So we talk about finance,
marriage, buster, between communication, which is that whole common thread through everything, and we're going to talk about money and finances. Now, why is that such a big deal?
Right.
So you can have sex with somebody, exchange bodily fluids, but you don't want to talk about the money.
Don't want to talk about the money. This is a big deal, and we know that finances, too little money, or too little communication about the money, impacts marriages. And we've had a number of conversations.
But the money is really about security, I think.
Well, there's a number of things that money is. How about the person who has they got the one pot? Now we got different things in the book about the different 3 strategies that people employ. We tell you it usually depends on age and stage. We're not telling you which one is best, which one you got to decide which works for you. But the one pot is where all the money goes in the one pot, and y'all have a monthly budget. What happens when one of the people in the family or one of the people is a spendthrift, and the other one's a saver? And the person is all in one, and somebody wants to go get.
That's the question that has come up quite a bit, or
we've dealt with. Yep.
Who will say they spent $1,000 and didn't ask me.
Oh.
Or they spent the money that we're saving to do X. How do you deal with that?
Right, and it creates big issues, big arguments.
So that would suggest you hadn't decided at the beginning
Well,
how you're going to do it.
Oh, how
or
about
the
if you
person
had?
didn't keep their word.
There you go. How about when the people don't keep their word?
Then maybe you have to change the 1 pot to 2 pots or the 3 pots.
Well, that's the simple solution we recommended.
Oh, well, but sometimes the relationships are very complicated, and then so you have to change your strategy, or maybe you need to save off the top. Now, in terms of like Dave Ramsey and a lot of the other financial people, because I listen to all these podcasts and everything about money and finances, to save off the very top.
Right.
So if you save 15% or 20% off the very top, this is how much you have left. So how can you overspend if you don't have it to begin with?
Well, you're making
I mean, that's one approach.
Well, that's one approach. What happened if they spend, as Terrence said, they spent the rent money or the mortgage money? What happened do you do that? You're behind in the mortgage because the other spouse spent it.
The other part of me, that's
I
can't say that.
The gangster part of her. There's a gangster part of her. There's no, let it make it known.
Who spends the mortgage money?
Some people do. They do that. We've heard it for. I know people that one spouse spent the mortgage money.
Well, that's because they spent the mortgage money. Does that mean they think that the other person has money and they'll just do the mortgage? That doesn't even make sense.
Well, they spent the mortgage money because they're
gambler.
They're gambler.
What
are the five money personalities? Remind me.
That's a different personality.
All right, so we got the saver, the spender, the investor, the indifferent, and the gambler. Right?
You're so good. You're so good. I'm going to reward you.
What else you want me to show? I learned. What else?
Stay focused. So, if you're married to somebody who's a gambler, they can't help themselves.
Okay,
so if you're a gambler, you can't help yourself. Somebody has to have common sense. So you're just as crazy as they are. You put all the money in the basket and spend the mortgage money. I mean, I don't get it.
So that's it. Okay.
So you can't do that.
All right.
So you've got to figure out a creative solution to
So
protect
what do we
your
recommend?
household.
What do we recommend? We recommend in the
chapter, 1
pot,
pot, 2 pot, or the 3 pot.
The one that chapter number.
But if that doesn't work, I mean, you got to think it through.
That's chapter number 10. Chapter number 10.
They can't put their hands on the money.
Counts the cost. Money matters. Okay. First, get on the same page by first discussing how each of you view money.
Terrence said sometimes people just marry thieves. Okay. That's terrible.
That's true, though, Terrence. You're absolutely right. They're crooks. They're thieves. They're.
So then you cannot let them put their hands on the money. I mean, we're talking about when we talk about a 1, 2, or 3 pot. Those are people who are attempting to work together.
Well, so it says
there's a level
get
of
on
honesty.
the same page first. First, because how each of you view money.
So now they're not even on the same page.
No,
they're not on the same page. Now, why aren't they on the same page? Because they come with different things. Okay, so you come with a different money, how you perceive money, and where does that come from? That could come from the culture, from
your community. You know, you never had no money. Now you got some money.
Your different experiences with money, how money makes you feel when you have it.
Yep.
Or how you feel when you spend it.
Absolutely. My man John Registers here from, I think John lives in Colorado. Hey, brother, man. Much love to you, my man. So I'm glad. Tell everybody, lottie-dottie, everybody, we're here doing this every Monday night at 9 o'clock Eastern time, where we're trying to save 1 million marriages, enhance 1 million marriages, encourage people. Now, I am grateful. He says your book should be required reading for pre-marriage counseling. We agree.
I really do agree with that.
That's right. Well, we had one of my friends, and we're going to see them this weekend.
Yes.
We're going to visit with them. They're coming from Alabama to Charlottesville, and they were on their way to divorce court. We told them read the book. Just read the book. Read the book.
But that was really very interesting because it's not because one spent and the other one didn't.
No, their issue was one was a heavy breadwinner bringing in the money,
and paid everything, and the other
paid,
one didn't know.
Had no idea where the money was, how the money was spent.
So you get hit by that truck.
Woo! Did we have that conversation about the pastor who took care of all the money?
Took excellent care of his wife, and he died of COVID.
He died of COVID, and she didn't know where nothing. I don't think he had left a will
and no will. Oh my God!
Maybe not even good adequate insurance. Shirley Lou, that's the person we have talked about, how her husband died.
Yes,
her husband died, and had spent.
He committed
suicide and had spent had cashed in the insurance money. She was left with nothing.
Mm-hmm.
Am I right?
Yes.
So you know,
and she reinvented herself very successfully.
Yeah, but
that was such a painful experience.
And she said there was problems with the money before that happened.
So sometimes you have situations where a partner is thinking that I'm doing this and I'm taking care of everything and you don't have to worry. Sometimes I think that really is a level of selfishness. Well, both need to understand.
Let's not use the word selfishness. Oh. That's a level of not thinking through clearly that it's important that if you really love somebody, you don't keep them in the dark about things. Even as
I want them to know everything, because I want you to miss me when I'm gone, and that everything is so well taken care of. Like, oh, this is so wonderful.
So when we get ready, when we would travel, when we were on the road with the Get Motivated tour, for those who don't know, I replaced Zig Ziglar when he died, and I was on 2 events a week. Dee would every week we were gone. Every week we were gone 3 weeks, 4 weeks out the month. She would take the wheel and stuff and put it on the bed for my son to know where everything was.
I didn't want him to have to struggle to figure it out. I want him to miss me. I miss my mom all the way to the bank. That's what I want.
Listen, Terrence is so funny. He said, "I'm willing to have a heavy breadwinner. She can make all the money, and I can carry, because my manhood is intact."
I love it.
All right. So look, folks. Advice on this financial. We talked about in the book, discuss your mutual financial goals, short-term, long-term goals for your marriage, household, and family, and decide on your approach to household money management. The 1-part, 2-part, 3-part approach. We recommend y'all get this in your mind, because many of these arguments, one of the arguments we had with one of the conversations. Now, remember, we are not marriage counselors. We're marriage mentors. Tell them what that means.
Marriage counselors are people who are certified to help you work through your problems.
Right. What do we do?
We're mentors. You can walk alongside us. You can see what we do and how we do it, and all our warts and everything.
Right.
Okay.
All right. So what we told this couple, he said she spent the money that was being saved for, that they had said, well, this was off limits money. She spent it on something that she thought was in the on limit, I guess. I don't know how to say it. And he said that was not what we had agreed to. And he was hot. Let me tell you something. I told him this is a simple solution. Get the 3-part. Get the 3-part. We do the 3-part. It works perfect. We have never had an argument in 36 years of marriage. Have we had an argument over our household finance? Ever. Not one. But we got a system that works. And we encourage people to use the system.
Okay, so you need to say what the system is.
All right, so 1 pot, all the money goes into 1 pot. Our friend Kenny and Rudine Glass.
Okay, to run out of time. So we have a 3-pot. Okay?
You gotta get one. You didn't give them down. You told him to explain, and now you're not gonna get
too long.
Oh, you won't.
And then we have the household. We have the household pot. And the household pot says that we actually sit down, because it's really very, very simple without.
All right, say it again.
So you have the 1, 2, and 3 pot. Okay. Everything goes in 1 pot, and all the bills are paid out of 1 pot. 2 pot, you split the stuff in half. However you're gonna do it, you pay this, the other person pays that, and we have the 3 pot. We have household money, and then we each have individual.
But we are on each individual. We are on each.
We know about everybody's. About each other's accounts. We're on each other's accounts, and we sit together to pay all of our bills. Now, that is a necessity for us, because we are in business together as well as the personal.
But we got a
so
budget.
It's just automatic, and we have the budget.
We have a household
so there's
budget.
something called a MAP, a marriage. You can have, and I read that somewhere, and I like that. So you need to have a MAP. What's the budget? A marriage action plan, a money action plan, a money. Isn't that good?
That's good. Yeah.
A money action plan, and it's what you guys. But you got to sit down and be honest. Sometimes people have secrets, and when you have secrets, you don't really know where the money is going, because people have all kinds of credit cards and other things.
Hidden agendas, hidden money, and that is not
so
good.
What a great way, as we move towards the end of the year, now is the time for us to start to plan, what are we going to do differently as we move into next year.
So how do you get past the arguing about money? One, you must discuss what the real deal about the money is and be open and honest. Here are our bills, here, and what's our plan. We also had another couple who said that the husband was not ambitious enough and it impacted the money.
But he worked every day.
Yeah, he just didn't bring enough.
But he worked every day. He was a good husband, a good father. But she didn't like it that he was not ambitious enough. So what is that about? That doesn't turn her on.
Yep.
So that brings a whole nother level.
So we got lots of these issues that are in the book. We really do want to help people. We want more people to be saving their marriages. So
you have to figure out why you're arguing about the money.
Take classes together. That's something we talk about it in. Take some financial classes about.
And you can do that. And you can do that online. Oh, you can just do the podcast. You know, I'm working on the blogs because this really needs to become a blog.
Right.
Where the resources and the like that we have access to, we simply share.
So Terrence says a money action plan, 100%, or a prenup agreement. Now we can, again, we're not marriage counselors, so we can't give you anything that I have. We don't have a prenup only because we didn't have nothing when we started. Okay, we didn't have nothing when we started, did we?
No,
we didn't have anything. I was living with my mama.
He was living with his mother.
Yeah.
It really becomes much more complicated now as couples are older when they get married. They come with, now you came with a child, but you really didn't have any money.
I didn't have no money.
I
had a little bit of money. I had my grandmother's money.
Who come with a house. Both people come with houses. You got to resolve all of that. And sometimes I think you don't want to talk about it because you think it'll interfere with the relationship. But it's better to talk about it and get it up front and have it blow up now than wait until you after you get married, because it's hard to get out of it.
Yep. And it costs you. Cheaper to keep her. That's the truth. Look, our time is up. It's just quick. Next up, quick though, we're gonna talk about.
She has saved a lot of money and needs Jesus.
Terrence is so funny. Look, next week, y'all want to tell everybody tune in next week. Put it on your calendar. Plug it in your phone right now. Make an appointment. I'm talking about sex. S-E-X. What? That breaks up a lot of marriage. We're gonna get to the bottom line, the real skinny about sex, because far too many won't talk about it. We know a lot of folks who they have these great marital counseling sessions. Nobody asks, is a brother getting hooked up? Are you getting hooked up regular?
That's because people they're just not honest. They lie. They lie to themselves and they lie to each other.
Need more sex. All right, everybody.
I don't think that solves everything.
Terrence said, boom, boom. That's right. Sex, bang, bam. There you go.
November is Lung Cancer Prevention Month. I gotta talk about the month.
All right.
November is Lung Cancer Prevention Month, and you should get screened if you are even a former smoker and over 50.
Yeah.
They say that you should get screened. And we have Thanksgiving coming up. And Thanksgiving is a non-religious holiday where people talk about gratitude.
Gratitude, baby. Gratitude. I'm grateful for every day. I'm grateful that we're coming out of this pandemic. I'm grateful. Hey, look, for those who want to know we got a new program. I might as well tell you about it now, where you can get my speech, how to turn a setback into a comeback with an attitude of excellence for your organization, for a stream And,
so we're moving into
we're
more
moving into
streaming, very, very cost efficient.
Right. It's more cost, and not 5 figures for me to come speak. It's just $2,000, and you get access to it for a week. It's a great deal, great concept. And we recorded it at a CBS television station. It's fantastic. So if you're interested in that, send us an email, info@williejolly.com. You got questions that you want us to talk about sex next week, send us an email, info@williejolly.com.
And then has one focus.
I got one idea. Okay, anyway, and last but not least, want you all to go to jollymarriage.com. If you don't have the free chapter, get it. Communication. Read it. Share it with your friends and family.
Communicate effectively. Everything else is going to
Everything else starts to fall. And then if you get the book, get 2 copies. Or get the bundle. The 2 books, 2 workbooks, an audio book, and the full audio book read by us, and a seminar on CD, 2 CDs. Get it. It's worth it. Much cheaper than a divorce lawyer. Hello. All right. We got to go. We thank y'all for taking time to be with us. We always appreciate it. And all the people who look on the replays, all the people on IG, all the people on Facebook, all the people on LinkedIn, all the people are saying, this is helping us. That's why God gave us the opportunity to do it. We give God the glory. Have a great day. See y'all soon. This is Dr. Willie Jolley.
And this is D. Taylor-Jolley.
Jolley out.
Jolley out.
Why do birds suddenly appear every time you are near? Just like me, they long to be close to you.